Mom takes her son to school, and when she looked up, she noticed that everyone had a string of numbers on their heads. The woman's number was 391. These two girls were over 400. The dog was a 0. At that moment, a bald student walked by in the distance. He had 703 points. Her son Jack says he's top of his grade at his school. He's been taking it for 3 years. This time he scored 703 in the mock exam. They say he'll be the one who gets into the top university this year. That's when Jack's mother was enlightened. So this number is the score for high school graduation. She looked back at her son. He only scored 211. But the amazing thing is, she found that if Jack talked to the number 1 student, the number on top of his head would go up and up. This made Jack's mom so happy that her son was saved. That night, she set up a plan for Jack to improve his score. She woke him up at 5 a.m. to read, and the score started to go up. And that's not all. She noticed that every time Jack ate an egg yolk, Jack's head score would go up by 1 point. So she arranged a big lunch for him. The more supplements he ate, the faster the points on Jack's head grew. Within a few days, with his mother taking good care of him, Jack scored in the top 10 of his class in the mock exams. The teacher praised him and even the goddess approached him to study. Mom was bragging about it. She even imagined Jack getting into a prestigious university. But soon her son's score reached a bottleneck. Jack took several sets of test questions in a row, but the score was stuck at 555. This made Jack a bit depressed. His mother let him take a break. At the end of the day, Jack took out his beloved guitar and tried to relax, but then his mother noticed. As soon as he grabbed the guitar, the numbers went down. As soon as he let go of his hand, the numbers stopped falling. And that's when Jack finally understood. For the sake of his dream and his future, Jack stood up and tried to smash his guitar, but it was his beloved guitar. He couldn't bring himself to do it. Jack had to ask his mother to help him. Knowing that this would raise his score, Jack went into the room and tore up the posters and smashed the CDs. He smashed up everything that was music. Looking at the mess at the door, his mother was very worried. Was this really for the good of her son? The next day, when she came home, she saw the neighbor's child who was studying too hard. He had fallen down the stairs and broken his leg. It reminded her of the time Jack was also sick from studying. She rushed home, but then Jack came out of the bathroom. He was cutting his own hair. Jack was so excited. The exams were just a few days away. He plans to skip meals and sleep. He was going to spend all his time studying. He had made himself a special drink. When his son finished it and was ready to go study, his mother stopped her as soon as she could. Then she took him to the barbecue stall. She bought him his favorite kebabs and fried chicken. But Jack was not happy. He didn't want to eat something that wasn't good for his brain. Then his mother saw a singer on stage next to him, so she called him over, putting the guitar in her son's hand, hoping that through music, to revive the vibrant son he was before. But Jack threw the guitar away and snapped at his mother. Jack said that all these things have been a stumbling block to my success. We've rented a house. Mom, you quit your job. You spent so much money to send me to such a great school. How can I hang out with these people who don't know how to get ahead? Seeing her son like this, my mother regretted it. If I hadn't put so much pressure on him, her son would not have become like this. The next day, Jack, with the class in tow, was taking the Pledge of Allegiance with great vigor. Suddenly there was a familiar drum beat. Hearing the beat was a song he had written himself. Then Jack followed his classmates out and saw the simple stage with his friends who used to play music together. That's when Jack's heart was touched. It turned out that his mother had heard from his classmates. Jack's greatest wish was to sing his songs to his classmates. Now she was here to help her son realize the dream. Looking at the repaired piano, Jack burst into tears. He asked his mother with trepidation, how many points would he lose if he went up there? Looking at the numbers dropping above his head, his mother smiled and told him, it's up 20 points. Hearing this, Jack was relieved to go on stage. Looking at the shining boy on the stage, Mom was so relieved. There was no pressure of exams at this moment. Her lovely son was back again. In fact, many parents are just like the mother in the movie. They want their sons to become dragons and their daughters to become phoenixes, so much so that they neglect their children's mental health. Exam results are important, but what is more important is their youth.